Hello and welcome to Passion Fruit, where your passion comes to light. Today we have a multi-talented young kid, Janhvi,
Hello.
and Janhvi Sairam.
Yes.
That's her full name. She is a dancer, classical dancer. She is a vocalist, and lot more to do with music therapy and stuff and art. So let's try to get more details about Janhvi. Janhvi, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So tell me something about you
Uh-huh.
and family.
Yeah, so I'm Janhvi. I'm a freshman at UT Dallas studying healthcare management. And like you just said, I have interest in music and art and dance. I've been doing that for a long time. That's what I love doing. I also really love dogs. Just a fun fact about me. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
That's interesting. So, dog, tell me about siblings.
Oh yeah, I have an older brother who, it's fun having him at home, I guess. He also graduated from UT Dallas last year. He did accounting, and I guess growing up, we did fight a little bit, just a little bit, but it got a lot more. We did get a lot closer growing up. So yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of things we share together on a daily basis. So yeah.
That's good. So you say he's a very overprotective brother, or he's like, I don't care.
He's pretty protective, I would say. Okay. He's always there to give me advice even when I don't ask for it. Yeah, he always he's very helpful, and he sometimes cares a lot more than I do about some things, especially things related to adulting and things like that. I would say would not be possible if he was not around, because I would not do any of that. I would just be in my art zone doing my music or my dance, but he's there to bring me back to perspective and say, no, you've got to do other stuff too.
Nice.
So yeah.
And you said you love dogs.
Yes.
Do you have pets?
No, I do not, unfortunately, but I've grown up around a lot of dogs. My best friends, they both have dogs.
Okay.
My uncle has a dog. So I just really like dogs, and I really want one. I've been asking my mom for the longest time, but she likes dogs too, actually, but she just says I don't want a third kid. So yeah,
I know it's lot of maintenance, and I think for them they already have a pet. So why do they need one more? Being the youngest, I think you are there.
Yeah, I can say so.
Okay, so now that we know something about your personal life, let's get into the area where you are really passionate about, right? So that's your music, that's your dance, and your sketch, your art. So how did you get into dance first?
Okay, yeah. So for dance, ever since I was very little, I just wanted to dance. I don't know why, but I just wanted to dance. And this was honestly probably my first memory of life, just wanting to dance and being at that very first dance teacher's house. That was kind of my very first memory of life. So I would always tell my mom, ever since I could walk, I would tell my mom I want to dance. So she would go around town looking for teachers, and they would all say, no, she's too young. Please wait 1 or 2 more years. And I was not willing to wait. Somehow my mom miraculously found a teacher who was willing to at least teach me to tap my feet.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of how my dance journey started, and then I went on to take it forward.
So when you said you start from little, right? What triggered? Was there some music that was continuously played at home that gave you that rhythm and you started enjoying those movements?
I would think so, because in my house, music was always a thing. My grandfather would be at a different kacheri every single weekend. Okay. My mom used to sing too. She still does.
Sing.
Yeah, she sings too. So maybe that is something that inspired me. But more than what inspired me to dance, I remember dancing itself.
Dancing itself.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know that your family is more on the music, but somehow
Yes.
it pushed
Yes.
you towards dance.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Along with dance, you also sing. Right?
Yes, I do.
Classical Carnatic music. So how did that start?
Yeah.
When did it start?
That also started when I was pretty young. Like I said, my mom used to sing, and when I was very young, she was learning from this teacher who would teach at home.
Okay.
Who was coming home to teach, and so I would just run into the room and cause havoc, I guess. And so that's probably where I started, and then yeah, she would teach me probably just like the very basics, make me sing Shruti or make me sit. And so that's how I kind of maybe got that initial knowledge, and then I moved on to learn myself.
Excellent. So coming to, let's come back to dance, because that's how I know you.
Yeah.
Right. So your Nrithyarpanam. So that's where I met you and I saw you perform. How did you meet Sarita Venkataraman, Dr. Sarita Venkataraman, who is your guru?
Yeah. So when we came to Dallas, honestly, I knew that I wanted to continue my dance journey. So Amma was just asking friends and other people like, okay, who are the dance teachers around town? You know, Janhvi wants to continue dancing. So then one of our family friends, whose daughter was also learning from Sari auntie, they like recommended us, and we went, and like the very first minute, like talking to her itself was so like it felt very comfortable, very sweet, very loving. And then I went to class, and like there was no looking back. The rest is history.
That's nice. So for Bharatanatyam, I think there are two forms or two styles, or maybe
there are multiple styles. There's many.
So when you came to Sarita auntie's class, right? So was that styles same, or was that different that you already learned?
Yeah, I think there were slight differences actually. So what I'm learning with Sari auntie is the Pandanallur style, which is, I believe, one of the oldest styles. And in Bangalore too, I was learning Tanjavur style, which is similar, but there are certain differences, and that came out specifically when I was doing my Nrithyarpanam, prep, because auntie would say, "Oh, you're doing that a little differently." And so it was not difficult to change. It was not like a bad experience or anything, but it was a learning experience for sure. There were slight differences, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't even realize that they did it like that.
Yeah. Because I know, like when you're learning two different styles, unlearning is the biggest challenge, because you have to unlearn and relearn. So how much time did it take you to unlearn and relearn? It did take a little bit, because my muscle memory was kind of set in. Especially for like one of the very so like we have the tirmanam in Bharatanatyam that we do in the end of jatis and things like that. That definitely took some time. Instead of stretching my leg to the side, I would stretch it in front. But eventually I got there with practice. Nice. This is interesting, because for people like me who doesn't know dance, now I know, like, a leg in strength and leg in a side diagonal, different. So that's interesting. So coming to your Nrithyarpanam, I had two things I wanted to ask you. One of the items that you performed, Sita Kalyanam, I guess, right? So that was something that really enjoyed, because the perspective of the entire storytelling was different. How did that come? Like, was it your idea? Did it come from Sarita auntie? So honestly, it was a piece that existed in auntie's repertoire that she had done once before. So like we were just we had finished the first few pieces in my margam, like training for it, and then we were discussing what we can do next. And then she listed out a bunch of items, padams, javalis, and things like that. And then she said Sita swayamvara, and I was like,
I want to do that. Because when I was little, around the same time, probably when I like wanted to dance and things like that, I would watch Ramayana at home.
Okay.
And I would like wear a Sita dupatta and pretend
nice.
to be Sita and things like that. And I have always loved storytelling, mythological storytelling. And that's where I was like, I have to do this piece.
Nice.
And I also really enjoyed learning it just as much as, or even if not more than what the audience would have enjoyed seeing it. I love doing that piece. Like even today, like if someone tells me to perform that piece, I will do it in a heartbeat.
So now that you have built up so much of hype, can you tell our audience what exactly is the story behind it?
Yeah, so basically, brief story is like in the epic Ramayana, Sita, the princess, right? Her father had this system where, or many kings had the system where they would organize a swayamvara, which is basically a suiting ceremony where kings or princes from other lands come, and basically they have to win the daughter's hand in marriage, right? And in Sita's case, there was a big bow, like blessed by Lord Shiva, and like I believe it was the bow of Parashurama or something like that. This big bow, like nobody could lift it, including like several kings. Like it's known to be unliftable. But the thing is, one person who could was Sita. When the ball, like she would play as a little child, and then the ball like rolled into the court, and then she was the only one that was able to just pick it up, lift it, take the ball, and go, right? So in her case, the story was that the man who could lift the bow and break it will win her hand in marriage, right? That is the story. And that is the story I told through the dance. Basically, in my dance, what I did was the sakhi, or the friend who was dressing Sita up for her ceremony, she is the one who is seeing the story and telling it to Sita. And so in the beginning, she goes and she sees who all are seated. She tells her, oh my God, there's so many people seated. You need to get ready fast. And then she gets Sita ready. Then she seats Sita on the throne. And then once she seats Sita on the throne, I show all of the men kind of trying to lift the bow and like failing miserably. Again, that is what the sakhi is seeing.
Yes. Yes.
They are failing, and then there's Ravana, who also just falls flat on the ground, and then curses everyone when he gets up. And then at the end, there's Rama, who majestically lifts the bow, strings it, and breaks it. So he essentially wins her hand in marriage. And then after that, just a quick turnaround of things, and then I show the marriage scene between Sita and Rama, where the sakhi just like, she gets emotional, obviously, because her friend is getting married. She like throws the flowers on the stage affectionately, and it ends on that high note of them getting married.
Yes.
Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame வைபோகமே வைபோகமே வைபோகமே.
So the beauty of this piece was the entire story is from Sita's friend, like the friend
Yeah,
telling the
the
story.
point of
So
view.
typically we have seen Ramayana where we see it as a first person
Mhm.
point of
Yes.
view, but this is like her friend telling her story, what's happening behind the scene.
Yes.
So that is what I really like. One more thing I wanted to check, there was a surprise item.
Yes.
Whose idea was that?
That was an idea. Okay, so I always wanted to do Andal. I've always really liked Andal and the idea. So the surprise item was a Tirupavai. Auntie and I were just talking about some of my favorite music, some of my mom's favorite music, and I said I wanted to do something that would dedicate to both my mom and my grandmother.
Yes, you
And that was a Tirupavai composed by Andal that basically my mom had learned from my grandmother
Okay.
as a child, and she sang it at like a competition and things like that. So I said that particular one is the one I did, and everything just came together very nicely, like the makeup and everything. Like I think it really suited the
nice.
yeah,
So-
so
so-
that piece I really
So that song was like pretty much a 3-generation item,
Yes.
right? So
yes,
grandma, your mom, you.
and then it's mine. Yeah.
Interesting.
நாயகனாய் நின்ற நந்தகோபனுடைய கோயில் காப்பானே. நாயகனாய் நின்ற நந்தகோபனுடைய கோயில் காப்பானே.
So follow-up question on that.
Mhm.
So before you did the Andal item, right?
Mhm.
So you did something else,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
How difficult was it for you to change from that into Andalu, especially with the
Yeah.
hair and makeup?
Yeah,
right? It's
for sure.
completely.
For sure. It was honestly when I was on stage and stuff, like I didn't even know what was happening. Like I was fully into it, and even that 1 minute when I was off stage, like I was still on stage,
Yes.
right? And like kudos to like the auntie who dressed me up and stuff, Vidya auntie. Like I remember when my teacher asked Vidya auntie, like, how long is it going to take for you to change like the bun and everything? She
Yes.
said 1 minute.
Oh,
So
nice.
So literally that's how long it took. And in terms of transitioning like mentally from the Radha to Andal was
Yes.
also kind of similar, I would say. But Andal was more in a devotional way in the Tirupavai, whereas the first one, the Radha that I did right before, was more romantic. But yeah, Andal was a short piece, so it was honestly also like a break
Yeah.
for me. Because right after that previous piece would have been the Tilana,
Mhm.
Andal gave me a slight break.
Breathing. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. If we keep talking, we'll go more into dance. So let me take a break and let's shift to the vocals part.
Mhm.
So I recently came to know that you are also classically trained vocalist.
Mhm.
So can you talk something about it?
Yeah, of course. So I started learning Carnatic music vocal from Dr. Geeta R. Bhatt in Bangalore, and then I also learned like more advanced kritis and things from Srimati Rekha Prasad in Bangalore as well. And now I learned from Dr. Srimati Kavita Venkataraman. I personally, I feel like doing dance also makes me appreciate music a lot more. And I'm excited to, get more opportunities in performing and stuff in music as well. Like I said, my family always has had a deep connection with music. I've grown up going to small concerts and not understanding a lot growing
Makes
up.
sense, yeah.
But yeah, I like singing
That's
as well.
interesting. So good luck with the concerts. I will also connect you with the people who might be looking for musicians to perform. So that's interesting. So now let's take one step back and
Mhm.
look into your art.
Mhm.
Right? I know you draw a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and I've seen your beautiful
Mhm.
art.
Mhm.
and you also did something to do with music therapy, right?
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
medicine related.
Yes. Yes.
So can you talk about
Yeah.
each
Of
one
course.
of them separately?
Yeah, so just a short information about how my art thing started was honestly just like any other kid, right? I would ask my mom to bring printouts and stuff of Disney characters and stuff,
Mhm.
and that's how I just started coloring and things like that. But then eventually, as I got older, I liked it so much, I continued. I kept practicing. I kept doing stuff with it. So that's kind of where my art thing went. And along the way, sometime I felt that I really like the arts, but I also want to make a difference.
Mhm.
So that's where I got into art and music therapy.
Okay.
And fun fact, my first music teacher was someone who worked in that space.
Okay.
So that kind of brought the idea in my head as a kid, but I didn't really think about it until a lot later, right? So yeah, I wanted to make a difference and I wanted to use the arts in a way that was impactful.
Mhm.
So I did a research program in high school
Okay.
where I interviewed people in healthcare, people in music therapy, people in art therapy, therapists,
Mhm.
and kind of I created a project. And I also worked with a mentor
Mhm.
who was a music therapist in UT Southwestern
Okay.
to create kind of a handbook for art and music therapy. So to tell audiences what it is,
Mhm.
and to also provide them with a template of what they can do and how it can help,
Got it.
things like that. So that's kind of what my research project was in healthcare and art.
That's very interesting concept to use art into, as a therapy. So follow up question. So when you were little, when you started drawing, you used to draw on the walls?
I don't remember. No, I don't
No?
think so, actually. Surprising, but
Surprising, right? So take chalks and keep drawing on those. No such creativity.
I don't think so, because I remember that one thing about me, even still, like until today, is I don't like seeing things dirty,
Okay.
including my face. I'm pretty particular, so maybe
Probably that could be the
something
reason.
like that.
Yes. So coming to art, I I I saw one of your art.
Mhm.
I think it was a drawing of some lady looking at the mirror. So very very interesting concept.
Mhm.
How did that come into you?
Yeah.
That thought.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was actually me. That lady is actually
Oh,
me.
that's you. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, the idea just came from a place of immigrating, moving different countries, and also kind of the westernization that is there in my life
Mhm.
and in the lives of several young adults today. So, for context, on one side of the mirror, there's this girl dressed in in just like jeans and a top, and on the other side the reflection is a girl in like a lehenga, and then the whole painting is kind of it's got like Indian motifs as well as Western like pearls and things like that. And I also really like fashion, so I took like dupatta pieces, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what I did. The idea, yeah, it was just kind of um like what I go through on a daily basis and what I like going through as well.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
it is not just a random, thought like, hey, can I do this something like, but it actually has a story and there is emotion
Yes,
attached to it.
100%.
That is very interesting. So now that I know most of your art
Mhm.
and art related, apart from art, dance, and music,
Uh-huh.
what do you do?
Apart from art and dance and music, I'm a healthcare management student. I'm a student at UT Dallas. I like researching. Um, I do that, and then I also like lately I've started crocheting, which is also in the art space, but it's really fun. And I really like plushies, so I'm
Okay.
always like doing something with my plushies.
So apart from this, do you cook? I heard you cook. Can you help Amma 24/7? No?
I try to cook lately, like this summer, the past winter. I did dabble in cooking. I like baking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like making like this orange cake loaf thing with orange peels,
Okay.
actually. And then I like oatmeal cookies, so I try to bake whenever I'm free, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So only when I'm like really free and really bored. And yeah, lately I've been trying to cook. I like experimenting and trying different cuisines and also trying to make it healthy.
Okay. So you just cook, or you also clean, or you leave the cleaning to Amma?
I try to clean.
Clean. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's a team effort.
it's a team effort. Yeah, that's a smart way of cooking. But no, generally I know ammas don't like the way you clean,
Yes,
because they always
100%.
find some spot somewhere, so they prefer cleaning. themselves.
But like my mom is also very supportive of that. Like
Yeah.
she's not too particular. She's like, it's okay.
That you're telling that because she's sitting right here?
No.
In general.
For sure.
So apart from this, I know you also do social media
Mm.
content creation.
Yeah.
And I think you also are trying to get into photography.
Mhm.
So yeah, so she will be my future photographer, helping me with the shoots. Yeah. So do you also do marketing, social media marketing?
Yeah. So for a few clubs in college and back in high school, I did both like kind of marketing as well as designing the flyers itself. So I would design the flyers, put all of the information in, and then I would also do the marketing on Instagram and occasionally TikTok as well. Just kind of using the tools, using Instagram's features to push the post. Like instead of just posting it.
Make.
So yeah.
In a way, you're saying you try to do a targeted audience.
Yeah.
Posting. So when you say TikTok, do you do reels, or you just post videos to TikTok platform?
Yeah, no, I actually don't do like reels. Like the fun fact is, like, as much as I enjoy dancing, as much as I can learn an entire piece of choreography, I can't even learn a TikTok dance.
TikTok dance.
It doesn't come to me. But I do like maybe sometimes art kind of reels and things like that. My friends do that a lot. So they sometimes will help me with that.
Okay. Maybe you should try something. I've seen a classical dance trend going on where there is one kid standing in the front, and there is another kid dancing behind.
Okay.
And the kid in the front, she has to guess the next movement based on.
Oh, okay.
So-
yeah,
so
I have seen that.
That is something interesting that you can try with your friends.
For sure. Yeah.
If there is anything that you wanted to talk, we can discuss.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say one thing about like drawing on the walls and stuff, right?
Mhm.
I don't remember ever drawing on the walls, but I do remember drawing on the whiteboard with permanent markers several times.
Okay.
And this was in my mom's like music class at home.
Okay.
The teacher used to write on the board sometimes, and I would do it also, but with the permanent markers.
Perfect. So since you missed that age where you couldn't draw on the wall, do you want to try now?
I would enjoy painting on the wall,
On the-
honestly. Yeah.
House painting?
Yeah.
Or painting
It
your
could
own
be
room?
fun. I feel like it could be very fun, but I might get too tired.
Tired, and I think the fumes also may not
Yeah.
be good
Mhm,
for
mhm.
this. So, yep. So Janhvi, very interesting discussions. I really enjoyed, asking all weird questions and getting all the answers. And good luck with you for
Thank you
your.
so much.
Hopefully, you'll get a puppy soon,
Yes, hopefully.
and hopefully you will join my team and we'll start working together. So, audience, if you are looking for social media marketing or management or photography or music therapy, we have our candidate who can help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yay.